Hey guys, Light is here, and in today's video I want to talk about grinding, and in particular if it is an activity that everyone should be partaking within, or if it's simply a suggestion that could be avoided. Now, let's establish what do I mean by grinding. For most people, grinding could be simply trying to obtain the best possible characters for their account, while for others, the idea of collecting every single chest within Tears is a task that they must complete, no matter what. However, for me, grinding is all about repetitively completing the same task over and over again in order to either maximize efficiency or possibly obtain a better result with each succession of attempts. So today I will be talking about three main aspects of grinding. They are the most common within Genshin Impact, them being materials grinding, artifacts grinding, as well as spiral abyss grinding. Firstly, materials are a lifeblood of Genshin Impact, as you pretty much can do anything without them, and they are required for both upgrading characters as well as their weapon. So in a way, grinding materials is a necessary task to complete. However, not all material gathering is. For example, you do not require to ascend your characters above level 80, as well as it is not a must-have for their talents to all be above level 6. In certain cases, they do not require upgrading at all. It does make a difference if you have a level 90 character with triple level 9 talents, but the time that is required to achieve those two goals might be better spent in other areas of the game. Which leads me to a topic of Mora and ore gathering. Particular tasks are most likely the sore spot for many, as for majority of players, having spare Mora is a luxury that they can't afford to have, as every character has a high price tag to be paid in order to use them at their optimal level. But what if I told you that you only really need 8 characters in order to beat the game, as well as have plenty of resources to spare for those that you fancy upgrading in the future? The biggest mistakes a lot of newer and even some veteran players make is upgrading every single character at the same time. While it might seem more reasonable to have a larger roster of units to play around with, what in reality it does is stagnate your overall progress of getting into a sweet spot of not requiring new units and just obtaining those that you want rather than need. This means the more units you wish to upgrade, the more resources you require and the more grinding you must perform in order to do so. Playing smart and not hard is what everyone should prioritize, at least while getting used to the game, as grinding materials could be extremely daunting and will most likely ruin your overall enjoyment of the game. Now let's move on to the second grinding task that most likely every single one of you partakes within, at least on a weekly basis. Artifact farming is a task that is quite enjoyable for some, as the thrill of a chance for getting an upgraded version of an artifact for their favorite character could be quite exciting, while for others it's something they do simply because they feel obligation of thoughts. Chasing a perfect artifact roll on set is something many wish to achieve, but is it really that important to have high crit value on all of your artifacts? In truth, having good artifacts is an important aspect of Genshin Impact, as it makes your life much easier, due to the fact that it allows you to complete tasks, such as domains, bosses, as well as Spiral Abyss, in a much quicker and more relaxing pace. However, you can beat entire game with simply okay artifacts that have correct main stats and respectable substats. Having a 30 or 50 crit value artifact might seem like a night and day difference for some, but in reality all it does is make your damage a little bit bigger. You do not need to spend all of your resin as well as precious time to chase after the godlike roll. Aim for good rather than perfect, and you will have a much more pleasant time within Genshin Impact, as it won't feel like a chore and will be a fun activity that you could partake within occasionally. Lastly, let's talk about the main reason of why everyone is even considering grinding for both materials and artifacts. Spiral Abyss is a content that many have mixed feelings about, as for some it's the only fun aspect of Genshin Impact, while for others it's a boring and unappealing mechanic that they want nothing to do with. Is it a must? Well, no, Spiral Abyss is the only place within the game where every player can test their limits and see how strong their account truly is. But it is not a place which is required to be completed after every single reset, as the rewards they offers are not that alluring and tempting, which makes it a testing grounds of sorts for majority of people, where they can try new things and make fun variations of character compositions against some of the hardest enemies that Genshin has to offer, as well as mechanics that would make you adapt and think of how to approach each floor more carefully. Overall, Spiral Abyss is something that everyone should try at least once and see whether they enjoy the challenge or if it's simply not for them, as not doing it is a perfectly reasonable excuse. In conclusion, remember, if you're not having fun, then do not do tasks that make you only unhappy, as burnout within Genshin Impact is a real thing. And in order to avoid it, take things at your own pace, have fun, and make great memories with some friends. Thank you very much for watching. I was Light. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on grinding within Genshin Impact, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!